Hello. Hello. Hello.
A warm welcome to the Junior Science and Maths Quiz that is organized by the Premier College, the College of Science at KNUST, in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service, Dext Technologies, and Eridec Ghana Limited. We appreciate and acknowledge all our sponsors for coming on board and supporting us in diverse ways. We are truly and deeply grateful to you. The 2025 quiz competition is proudly sponsored by the KNUST e-learning. For all our media and video coverages, we are grateful. The Institute of Distance Learning KNUST, thank you for making our journey around the nation easy and pleasurable. Your venues provided are well appreciated. Dext Technologies. At Dext Technologies, we say practical science is now practical. Thank you for making our technology challenge round a reality, and you always make it very exciting and hands-on. The Ghana Great Company Limited, GreatCo, the MTN Stakeholders Management, as well as Nestle Ghana. And lastly, to our media partners, Kesben TV, thank you for partnering with us. Your engaging broadcast and commitment to quality has significantly amplified our reach and impact. We deeply appreciate your dedicated support and collaboration. Let me use this opportunity to salute the heads of the various schools and the dedicated teachers who have spent time in preparing our contestants for this morning's contest. Also to you, the gallant students proudly representing your schools in the competition for burning the midnight oil and getting your names registered for this year's competition. And of course, to our jubilant supporters, let's give ourselves a thunderous round of applause. My name is Prince Amponsakwabi, and I'll be your moderator for the quiz competition this morning. Remember, the Jsmq, that is the Junior Science and Maths quiz, is tailor-made for learners in the junior high schools to enable them exhibit their understanding of the basic principles underlying the life and physical sciences. It is expected to promote teamwork and critical thinking right from the early stages in life. I am sure that all contesting schools have prepared very well and are poised, looking forward to an exciting quiz. This morning, we have 3 schools competing. We have Grace Holy Child Academy, we have Dan Shelley MAJHS, and we have Our Lady of Peace JHS at Bimbila. Contestants, I would like to ask you to turn on your microphones and then introduce yourselves to us. So let's begin with Grace Holy Child Academy. Please turn on your microphone.
Abdurrahman Abdulwasir, Basic 9.
Right, thank you.
Ewuradawale Joycelyn, Basic 9.
Thank you very much. And then we have from Dan Shelley MAJHS.
Of the Junior Mutawakil.
Thank you very much. And then finally from Our Lady of Peace JHS at Bimbila.
Swali Aisha.
Thank you very much. Let's give all of them a round of applause. Okay. So contestants, you have buzzers in front of you. We'll first need to do a quick buzzer test. Let's hear the sound of the buzzer from Grace Holy Child Academy. Thank you very much. Our Lady of Peace. And then finally, Dan Shelley. Thank you very much. So we are all set and ready. There will be 4 rounds in this contest. Round 1 will be the fundamentals. Round 2 is the fastest finger, fastest brain. Round 3 is a science and technology challenge. And round 4 will be decoding the clues. Contestants, I will be reading the instructions at the beginning of each round. Without further ado, round 1, the fundamentals. This round consists of biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, and ICT questions. If a school answers a question correctly, 3 points are awarded. If it is incorrectly answered, it becomes available as a bonus to the other 2 schools to compete for. The score for a bonus question is 1 point. Schools will have 15 seconds to answer questions that do not require calculations and 40 seconds to answer questions that require calculations. Each school has a maximum of 2 attempts for their main question and 1 attempt only for a bonus question. Bonus questions are always open to the other 2 schools to compete for by first ringing the buzzer. Failing to press the buzzer before answering, a bonus question will nullify your answer And so you will score no points even if your answer is right. Best wishes to all competing schools. Question number 1. You have 15 seconds for this question. Grace Holy Child Academy. Explain the rock cycle and describe how sedimentary rocks can turn into metamorphic rocks.
Sedimentary rocks. They are rocks. Sedimentary rocks can become metamorphic rocks due to exposure to heat and temperature as layers are formed.
I will make it available for a bonus. Okay, so I will give you 1 out of 3. You were to explain the rock cycle and then to describe how sedimentary rocks can turn into metamorphic rocks. So the rock cycle describes continuous transformation of rock types through processes like melting, cooling, erosion, and sedimentation. So that was the first part of the question. Then the second part, you were to tell us how sedimentary rocks become or are transformed into metamorphic rocks. And that's where you talk about the sedimentary rocks being subjected to high heat, pressure that alters their mineral structure. Okay, so Dan Shelley, MAGHS, your main question. What is the significance of fossils in sedimentary rock layers, and how do they inform us about the Earth's history?
Fossils contain carbon remains from dead bones of animals, and then they build up upon each other, going down and down into the soil. So when scientists dig up, they're able to track down this. They are able to look at the fossil remains and be able to find what organism it may have been.
Again,
And
I'll
check
make it
the
available as a bonus. I will give you 1 out of 3. Again, fossils found in sedimentary rock layers act as indicators of past life and environmental conditions. They help scientists to understand evolutionary processes, climate changes, and also geological time, whilst providing evidence of how life has developed on the Earth. So this is something that we're expecting from you, or something like this. Okay, Our Lady of Peace, JHS at Bimbila, your question. Describe the differences between intrusive and extrusive igneous rocks and give an example of each. Grace Holy Child for a bonus.
Intrusive rocks are also called volcanic rocks. They are formed when molten magma cools down. And then the extrusive are also called plutonic rocks. They are formed when molten magma cools outside, when volcanic eruption occurs and molten magma cools outside.
Because it is a bonus question, I will not give you the mark. So intrusive igneous rocks form when magma cools slowly beneath Earth's surface, resulting in large crystals, for example, granite. You are supposed to state examples as well. So an example of intrusive igneous rocks is granite. Then for extrusive igneous rocks, they form when lava cools quickly above the Earth's surface, resulting in small crystals, example, basalt. Okay, thank you very much. So question number 2. This is a preamble to all schools. An element R, so R is capital R, an element, capital R, has two more neutrons than protons, and its atomic number is 15. It loses 3 electrons during a chemical reaction. Dan Shelley, MAJHS. What is the mass number of R?
"32.
32 is correct for 3 points. Our Lady of Peace, JHS. What is the electron number after it becomes an ion?
"12.
12 is correct for 3 points. Grace Holy Child Academy. State the symbol of the ion formed, including the charge.
Capital P, superscript Q plus.
That is not correct. You have one more attempt. Our Lady of Peace for a bonus.
Capital P, superscript +3.
I will not give you the mark. So, Dan Shelley, you were disqualified from answering this question as a bonus because you rang your buzzer even before the time was up for the main question. The correct answer is a 3+ charge, or capital R3+, not +3. 3+. Thank you very much. To question number 3. Again, contestants, you are to wait till the one with the main question has exhausted their time before you ring your buzzer. You don't ring your buzzer while they are still trying to answer the question. So please, if you do that, you will be disqualified from answering it as a bonus. Thank you very much. Contestants, you're also advised to speak directly into the microphone so that we can hear you clearly. Thank you. Question 3. Our Lady of Peace, your main question. How can you highlight all cells in E5 to E25 that are equal to 50?
You select all the cells in the range and apply the
Sorry, your time is up. For a bonus, Dan Shelley for a bonus.
So you use conditional formatting, in which you highlight it, giving the condition that the number inside the cell is 50 from E5 to E25.
I will give you the mark. Grace Holy Child Academy. How would you apply conditional formatting to highlight all cells in the range D2 to D20 that are greater than 100?
You will give it an instruction that you should highlight cells from D2 to D20, which are less than 100.
You have one more attempt. Unfortunately, Dan Shelley for a bonus.
So then, first, you go to the formatting toolbar, then select conditional formatting, in which you give it a statement that it should look at the cell range from D2 to D20, D2 to D20, and if the number inside the cell is greater than 100, it shall highlight it.
I will give you the mark, 1 mark. And then finally, Dan Shelley, your main question. How can you lock specific cells to prevent editing while leaving others editable?
So you use conditional formatting to select the cells in which you want to lock from others.
I will not give you the mark. You have one more attempt.
You go to the select tab, in which you now right click on the cells, and then inside the pop-up menu you select lock cells.
The question is available for a bonus. So, Nana Kwesi, I will give you 1 out of 3 for that question. You first unlock all cells by formatting the cells protection, and then you uncheck locked, then select specific cells to lock. You format the cells, and then you check locked protect sheet. So I'll give you 1 out of 3. Question number 4. This is a preamble to all schools. Calculate the following. Calculate the following. Grace Holy Child, your main question. A certain sum of money becomes 3,600 Ghana cedis in 3 years and 4,200 cedis in 6 years at a simple interest. Find the principal and rate of interest. Time's up. Time for bonus is also up. Dan Shelley MEJHS, your main question. A sum amounts to 4,800 in 2 years and 6,000 cedis in 5 years at simple interest. Find the principal and the rate of interest. Question is available as a bonus. Okay. Our Lady of Peace, JHS at Bimbela. A sum amounts to 7,200 in 3 years and 8,400 cedis in 6 years at a simple interest. Find the principal and the rate of interest per annum.
The principal is 4,900 Ghana cedi and the interest is 25%.
That is not correct. For a bonus, Grace only child for a bonus.
The principal is 1,500, and then the rate is 3%.
That is also not correct. The principal is 6,000 Ghana cedis and the rate is 6.67%. Dan Shelley, for your question, the principal is 4,000 Ghana cedis at a rate of 10% per annum. And then Grace Only Child, for your question, the principal amount is 3,000 at a rate of 6.67% per annum. Question number 5. You have 40 seconds to answer this question. Dan Shelley, your main question. A circuit has a voltage of 24 volts and a resistance of 12 ohms. How much current flows and how much charge passes through the circuit in 120 seconds?
So the charge is 2 amperes, and then the current is 2 amperes, and the charge is 240 coulombs.
That is correct for 3 points. Our Lady of Peace, JHS Abimbila. A circuit has a voltage of 12 volts and a resistance of 6 ohms. What is the current and how much charge flows in 180 seconds?
The current is 2 ampere and the charge is 360 coulombs.
That is correct for 3 points. Grace Holy Child Academy. A 20-volt battery is connected to a resistor of 10 ohms. Calculate the current. And then, how much charge flows through the circuit in 90 seconds?
The current is 2, and then the charge 2 ohms, and the charge is 180 kilowatts.
I will give you the mark, but the current is 2 amps. So I'll give you the mark. Correct for 3 points. To the next question. The following questions are statements. You are to state whether they are true or false. These questions cannot be passed on as bonuses. And contestants, you have 1 attempt only. 1 attempt only. Our Lady of Peace, JHS. The HCF of 63 and 7 is 7.
True.
True is correct for 3 points. Grace Holy Child Academy. The HCF of 50 and 25 is 5.
True.
It is false. Dan Shelley, MEJHS. The HCF of 21 and 35 is 14.
False.
False is correct for 3 points. Grace Holy Child Academy. A thermometer can be used to measure the mass of an object accurately.
False.
False is correct for 3 points. Dan Shelley, MEJHS. A barometer is an instrument used to measure atmospheric pressure and can help predict weather changes.
True.
True is correct for 3 points. Our Lady of Peace JHS. A graduated cylinder is preferred to a beaker when precise volume measurements of liquid is needed. Come again.
True.
True is correct for 3 points. And with this, we come to the end of round 1. Before we bring you the scores at the end of round 1, we'll take a very short break and return to you with the scores. Thank you very much. Once again, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsors, Kesben TV for amplifying our reach and impact, the Ghana Great Company Limited, Nestle Ghana, MTN Stakeholders Management, the KNUST E-Learning Center, the Institute of Distance Learning at KNUST DECT Technologies, and then also the Premier College of Science at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Round 2 is the fastest brain, fastest finger. One question will be read out, and contestants will compete to be the first to answer. Each question carries a score of 4 points. When a contestant is ready to respond, they should press the buzzer before they attempt to answer. Answering a question before pressing the buzzer will disqualify the school from the question. After you press the buzzer, contestants, you have 3 seconds to provide an accurate answer. If a school gets the question wrong, the 2 remaining schools get to compete to answer. Each school has a maximum of 1 attempt only to answer the question. A wrong answer in this round will attract a penalty of 1 point. Before we start with the round of questions in round 2, we'd like to make a small correction with question number 3 that our Lady of Peace answered, and I gave the full mark. We are Grace Olichild answered regarding one of the questions given, and we gave the full mark. Upon review, we noticed you used the wrong SI units, and so we are giving you 2 out of 3 instead of the whole 3 marks. So we just needed to make that correction, and we can go on. So that will now bring the scores at the end of round 1 to 7 points for Grace Holy Child Academy at the end of round 1. 6 points, 6 points for Grace Holy Child Academy. 6 points. Dan Shelley MEJHS, 16 points. Our Lady of Peace JHS at Bimbila, 12 points. Okay, so because of the disruption, I'll go through the instructions for round 2 one more time. 1 question will be read out, and contestants will compete to be the first to answer. Each question will carry a score of 4 points. When you are ready to respond, you should press your buzzer before you attempt to answer. Answering a question before pressing the buzzer will disqualify you from that question. And so, after the buzzer is pressed, contestants, you have just 3 seconds to provide an answer. If a school gets the question wrong, the 2 schools that remain get to compete for that question. Everyone or each school has a maximum of 1 attempt only for this round of questions. A wrong answer in this round will attract a penalty of 1 point. Best wishes to all schools. Question 1 for round 2. How many minutes are there from 10:15 a.m. to noon? Lady.
No one. 95 minutes.
That is not correct. Dan Shelley Emmy.
105 minutes.
105 minutes is correct for 4 points. Next question. Name 3 physical processes that are involved in the separation of a mixture. Dan Shelley, MEGHS.
Decantation, sedimentation, and filtration.
That is not correct. Child Academy.
Decantation, sedimentation, and chromatography.
No, that's also not correct. Our Lady of Peace.
Decantation, winnowing, and sieving.
That is also not correct. We have evaporation or vaporization, condensation, and crystallization. To the next question. To the next question, please listen. The use of machinery and equipment to perform agricultural operation is called Lady of Peace. The time is up. Dan Shelley, MEGHS.
Intensive farming.
That is not correct. The correct answer is mechanized farming or mechanized agriculture, or you can just say mechanization. Okay, next question. A microwave rated at 4 kilowatts is used 2 times a day for 8 minutes each time. What is the total monthly energy usage in kilowatt hours over 30 days? Shirley, MEGHS.
It uses 1,920 kilowatt hours.
That is not correct. And the time is up, actually. So the correct answer is 32 kilowatt hours. Next question. In a system unit, which device places on top of the central processing unit? Dan Shelley, MEGHS.
The CPU fan. The CPU fan.
I will give you the mark. 4 points. Next question. A soil conservation technique that helps reduce water runoff and prevent Grace Only Child.
Mulching.
That is not correct. And prevents soil erosion in agricultural fields is the correct answer is terracing or contour plowing. Terracing or contour plowing. Next question. Find the value of the expression 12ab squared all divided by ab. 12. Dan Shelley, MEGHS.
12B. 12B.
That is not correct. Grace Only Child Academy.
12B.
That is not correct. So you all rang your buzzers before I finished. So find the value of the expression 12ab squared all over ab if a equals 3 and b equals 2. Our Lady of Peace?
48.
That is not correct. The correct answer is 24. 24. To the next question. State one type of computer. JHS?
Supercomputer.
That is correct for 4 points. And with this, we come to the end of round 2. Before we bring you the scores, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsors, Gradeco, MTN Foundation, Nestle Ghana, Dext Technologies, the College of Science at KNUST, the Institute of Distance Learning KNUST, the E-Learning Center, the MTN Stakeholders Management, and then also to Kesben TV, our media partners, for amplifying our reach and impact. In round 3, we have 2 substitutions to take place. But before we go on to the substitutions, let's look at the scores at the end of round 2. At the end of round 2, Grace Holy Child, you answered 3 questions wrongly, and so you have a score of -3. Dan Shelley Academy, you have 8 points. And Our Lady of Peace JHS Abimbela, you answered 4 questions wrongly, and so you have -4 points. This brings us to a total of 3 points for Grace Holy Child Academy, 24 points for Dan Shelley, and 8 points for Our Lady of Peace at the end of the first 2 rounds of the contest. For round 3, Eura Joyce is going out for Fusaini Abdul Haq, Grace Holy Child Academy. And then also for Our Lady of Peace JHS, Swali Aisha, you are stepping out for Alassan Abdul Mateen. Let's do the substitutions. So we go on to round 3, the Science and Technology Challenge. This is a preamble to all schools. 1 question will be given to all schools. Of the solar cell while placing the color filters on top of the solar cell. Then there are two related questions. One, you are to explain the reason for your observations in task 2. This will give you 3 marks. So task 2 is put before you. There is a table, serial number column, where we have labels from 1 to 5, and then the second column for the table is the color filter. So for serial number 1, we have no color filter. For serial number 2, serial numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5, we have F1, F2, F3, F4 respectively. And you're supposed to input the column for voltage. So you're supposed to input the voltage for each of these color filters. So the related question now says to explain the reason for your observations in task 2, and then to give 2 applications of color filters in our everyday life. This will give you 2 marks. And so contestants, after the construction, you are to observe what happens to both. Okay, so that is it. That is it for round number 3. Contestants, you have 10 minutes to complete this task. Your 10 minutes starts now. Contestants, you have 2 minutes more. 2 minutes remaining. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, contestants, for completing the Science and Technology Challenge. Our consultants will come for what you have done. We will mark them and return to you shortly with the scores at the end of round 3. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for staying with us. And so for round 3, contestants, the Science and Technology Challenge, you were supposed to perform some tasks and answer some related questions. Upward on your working desk and complete the table by recording the voltages. A correct completion of the table would be as follows. So you have serial numbers in the first column numbered from 1 to 5. And for column 2, we have color filters. So serial number 1 goes with no color filter, and then serial numbers 2 to 5 goes with color filters F1 to F4 respectively. You are supposed to fill in the voltages. So for serial number 1, where you had no color filter, the voltage was supposed to be 3.88. And then should I go back online? Are we going back live? Are we going back live? Hello? Said I should talk, but you can see what I should say. Said I should keep talking. Are we going? Hello? 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 What should I say? Hello. I should keep saying hello, hello, hello throughout.
How you are sitting, you are giving us a feedback.
Hello. 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 Ah. Thank you very much for staying with us. And so to the table. So serial numbers in the first column, color filters in the second column, and volt column. Serial numbers 1 to 5, filters for the 2 to 5, we have F1, F2, F3, F4 respectively. These were the correct 3.88, 3.69, 3.41, 3.02, and finally 3.08 respectively. For the related questions, you were supposed to explain the reason for your observation for a total of 3 marks. So a correct completion of the table will give you 5 marks. Explaining the reason, 3 marks. And then giving 2 applications of 1 mark for each correct application. And so 5 marks for the table. For question number 1, explain reason for your observation by converting light electrical energy through the photovoltaic effect. However, they voltages. In short, different colors have different energies and hence different voltages. So we expected an answer like number 2 or 1. Sunglasses applications. Sunglasses use color filters to selectively block color filters in generating images. And so these were the answers we were expecting from you for the Science and Technology Challenge. Now let's look at the responses that you gave and the marks that were awarded accordingly. I will begin with Grace Holy Child Academy. So for task number 1, you got 2 entries for the voltage correct, and the rest you got incorrect, and you left 1 blank. This gave you 2 out of 5 for task number 1. Then for the explanation for the observations, we gave you 2 out of 3 because it was not totally correct. You had some incorrect statements in there. Then finally, for the application in everyday life, you provided only 1 correct application, and therefore you have a total score of 5 out of 10. Then to Dan Shelley. Values for the voltages except for 1, and so you scored 1 out of 5 for the table. Then you gave a fully correct explanation, and so you got 3 out of 3 for the second task or the second question, and then you gave 2 correct applications, and so you had 2 out of 2, bringing you to a total of 6 out of 10. Then finally, Our Lady of Peace. Our Lady of Peace, you were able to provide all correct answers for the first table, the first task. So you scored 5 out of 5. For the related question accurately, so you scored full marks, 3 out of 3. And then for the applications, you only gave 1 correct application, bringing you to 1 out of 2, for a total of 9 out of 10. And so at the end of round 3, Grace Only Child, you scored 5 points for round 3. Dan Shelley, you scored 6 points for round 3. And Lady of Peace, you scored 9 points for round 3. At the end of 3 rounds, total scores at the end of 3 rounds, 30 points. Our Lady of Peace, JHS at Bimbla, 17 points. We will now move on to round 4. Before we go to round 4, we'll take a very short commercial break. We'll be with you shortly. Hello, is it okay? Hello, 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 hello. Let's get going. The students look tired. Let's get going. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, hello. Hmm. Hello.
Now, your money should reflect your priorities. And if you're prioritizing saving 20 minutes and it takes to put on pants over reaching your money goals, I would encourage you to do some self-reflection and work on the pants thing. It shouldn't take that long.
I'm the only one in this town that can wear tight pants. You got it.
Now, prepping meals may take a little extra effort, but you know what else takes effort? Working an extra decade to make up for your poor spending habits. Number 3, paying credit card interest. This is one of the most common things that broke people waste money on. Paying for something you bought months ago and paying more for it is like running a race where the finish line keeps moving further away, thanks to 22% APR. That $30 vegan pistachio candle you bought on sale is now costing you $40 thanks
Technical issues in Pass round two. Tomorrow. Say we are not doing tomorrow. Thank you very much for staying with us. And so we go on to the very final round for this morning's contest, round 4. This round is called Decoding the Clues. The question will be read out as a series of clues. If the question is answered on the first clue, 6 points are awarded. If it's answered correctly on the second, 5 points. On the third, 4 points. On the fourth or any other indication, 3 points will be awarded. Contestants, you have to press your buzzer before you attempt to answer the question. Failing to press your buzzer before answering will disqualify you from that question, and therefore you earn no points even if your answer is correct. I will be using my hand and my fingers here to tell you which clue I am reading. So you see 1 finger up for clue number 1, 2 fingers up for clue number 2, 3 fingers, clue number 3, 4, in that order. Let us do a quick buzzer test. So first, Dan Shelley, let me hear the sound of your buzzer. Good, thank you very much. Our Lady, can I hear the sound of your buzzer? Thank you very much. And then finally, Grace Holy Child, can I hear the sound of your buzzer? Thank you very much. And so to round 4, decoding the clues. To the first set of clues. I dwell unseen in all that is alive. In silent harmony I thrive. Tiny in size, yet mightier than Shelley M.A.
A cell.
A cell is correct for 5 points. To the second set of clues. I move the unseen through wire and coil. A silent force that makes currents toil. Though Grace Holy Child on the first clue.
Electromotive force.
That is not correct. Though you cannot touch me, I set things in motion across circuits. I'm the driving emotion. Without me, electrons just wouldn't flow. I am what gives Dan Shelley M.A.
Current.
That is not correct. I am what gives electric current its go. Between 2 points, I make a stand, higher to lower. That's my command. I am measured in joules per coulomb, you see, creating energy from point A to B. I am the voltage across 2 spots in a circuit. Who am I? Our Lady.
Potential difference.
That is correct for 3 points. To the third set of clues. I drift through skies in quiet grace, A hidden giant. Dan Shelley
Cloud.
MA.
A cloud.
That is not correct. I drift through skies in quiet grace. A hidden giant in open space. I am a ghost in the air. No scent, no hue, yet all round I am part of the brew. Though I barely react and make no sound, in every breath I still abound. Plants, Our Lady on the third.
Carbon dioxide.
That is incorrect. Plants need my touch but can't use me raw, so microbes fix me by nature's law. I make up most of the air you breathe. Grace Only Child Academy.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen is correct for 3 points. And to the very last set of clues for the contest. I am a part of a bigger set. All my members are Dan Shelley on the first.
A subset.
Subset is correct for 6 points. And that brings us to the end of round 4. Before we bring you the scores at the end of round 4, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsors, the Premier College, which is the College of Science at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the Ghana Education Service, DEXT Technologies, and Eridec Ghana Limited, the KNUST E-Learning Center, the KNUST Institute of Distance Learning, DEXT Technologies, where practical science is now practical, the Ghana Grid Company Limited, GridCo, the MTN Stakeholders Management, as well as Nestle Ghana. And also to our media partners, Kesben TV, thank you very much for amplifying our reach and impact. At the end of round 4, Grace Only Child Academy, you scored 3 points. Dan Shelley, MAJHS, you scored 11 points. And Our Lady of Peace, JHS at Bimbila, you scored 3 points. And so at the end of 4 rounds of this contest, Grace Only Child Academy, you have 11 points. Dan Shelley, MAJHS, 41 points. And Our Lady of Peace, JHS at Bimbila, you have 20 points. This makes Dan Shelley, MAJHS, our champions for this morning's contest. And so we say a big congratulations to you, Dan Shelley, MAJHS. Let's give them a big round of applause. We also want to give a very big round of applause to our runners-up, Grace Only Child Academy, and then also Our Lady of Peace, JHS at Bimbila. A big round of applause for the effort put in. We want to say congratulations to you as well, and we wish you all the best for the future contests. Thank you very much for staying with us, and we hope to meet you again in the next round. Have a good day.